Welcome to Cheryl K's Cooking Diaries, old-fashioned Southern cooking. Hey guys, welcome back to Cheryl K's Cooking Diaries, old-fashioned Southern cooking. Today we're going to make an easy recipe, and we're going to have some chipped beef with gravy on Texas toast. And this is so good. Let's make my gravy when it comes to the chipped beef. So anyway guys, let me get you on in the kitchen here so we can get this started. So give me just a minute. Okay guys, here we go. Let's get this chipped beef dinner going. Alright, but first of all, I've added something to the dinner, I should say. And this right here is some Silver Queen corn that come out of my sister's garden this year. We're going to fry this. So I'm just going to show y'all how I fry my corn, okay? And for the fried corn, you are going to need a total of 4 tablespoons of butter, okay? And then you are going to need 2 tablespoons of bacon grease, but that's over on my stove, and we'll get to that when I get over there. Now, for the fried corn, that's all you're going to need, all right? It's really easy to do. And then for the chipped beef, you are going to need 2 packages of the Buddig Beef, okay? And this is the it's the smoked and chopped and pressed beef, okay? But this is what I use for my chipped beef, okay? You can use this too, and this is cheaper. I think these are only like 66 cents a piece. Let me tell you guys, this is the same thing as what's in the Armour jar of the chipped of the beef in those. So this is just what I use, and I use this to make my cheese balls too. This stuff's really good, it really is, and it's less sodium too. So anyway, and then now for the gravy. Now guys, I make my own gravy as I specified at the beginning of the video. I make my own gravy for this, so I don't make an actual beef gravy, but you can do that if you want to. But now for my gravy, I just use some self-rising flour, white lilies, okay? And I just use some milk, and that's really about it, except I put a little, I usually put bacon grease in my skillet to make my gravy, but since it's not really a gravy like for biscuits and whatnot, like a breakfast gravy, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use pure Crisco canola is how I'm going to do it, okay? That's how I'm going to do my gravy, and it's delicious that way. So it really doesn't matter. However you want to do it is fine, okay? So anyway, I can't really give you an exact measurement on my gravy, but now I think I do have a recipe on my cooking page of my gravy, and I think I kind of tried to give a little bit of the measurements on that to try to be helpful to some of y'all. But I'll do what I can. But when you've been so used to making something for so long, you just get so used to just knowing exactly what goes in it every time. So anyway, y'all, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take our Buddig beef, and we're going to chop that up, okay? So give me just a minute, and let me get you down here where you can see what's going on. So give me 1 second. Okay guys, here we go. We're going to go ahead and start chopping this beef up. Open these packages of the beef because we want to have this all ready to go. Let's open this one. Alrighty, now people do rinse this off, but I'm not going to. I'm going to leave it as is because it's still a little less sodium than what the other is in that jar, the Armour. So if y'all can see, that's the same beef that's in that little jar, okay? And really there's no difference in this. This is smoked. Might be a little smoky flavor to it, but that makes it even better, I think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these all together just like this. Okay, I'm going to take my knife and we're just going to start kind of cutting this up. Okay, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right about here. And I'm going to go through it just like this. Chop it like this and leave kind of some longer pieces in it. Now if I was making a cheese ball, I'd dice it up. But so we're going to get all that beef apart just like this. Just take your hands and get it apart. Get rid of my knife. I just prefer to leave it this way, but if you want to dice it up, you can do that. Or you can leave it in real long pieces if you want. It's totally up to you how you want to do this. So we'll take our pastry cutter and we're just going to pick it up. Try to get it all in the bowl without spilling any on the counter, which I knew I wouldn't be able to do. I knew I'd have to spill some before it was over with. What you want right there. When you cut it up, as you can see, these is the size that they are that I leave. We're going to put a lid on this, but now I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator just for a minute. I don't like leaving it lay out because it is meat. So we're going to do that. I'm going to clean up my cutting board. I'll be back, and then I'll bring it up to the stove and we'll get this corn done. So give me just a minute. Okay, guys, what you want to do is turn your heat on medium-high, okay? But we'll turn this down here in just a minute. Now, I'm going to get me just a regular tablespoon. I'm not going to worry about a measuring spoon, okay? And I'm going to open my jar of my bacon grease, okay? And I'm just going to stir that up a little bit. It gets good and blended. All right, so you're going to want to put 2 tablespoons of your bacon grease into your skillet. Okay, there's 1. And there's 2. So we got that in there. Now, what we're going to add is our 2 tablespoons of butter. I've done got it cut off for the 2 tablespoon mark. And this is for after. If you want it on there, you don't have to. Open this up. And I'm going to put this in here with that as well. Okay. And we're going to let that melt. Every bit of that has to melt. Okay. So I'm just going to swirl it around in the bacon grease with my hand. There we go. See, it's starting to melt pretty quick. So, and this is my iron skillet, and you're better off if you can use an iron skillet when you fry corn like this, guys. It really makes a difference, I think. Now, that's just my opinion. All right, I'm going to back my heat down to about 4 now. Okay, since this is melted. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our corn right in here. Just dump it right into your skillet and just take your spatula and kind of spread it out. And all that milky stuff in there, oh my gosh. Look, that's what makes this delicious. But anyway, I think I might have to turn it back up because with that a lot of that milky stuff in there, it does kind of need to be a little higher right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to stir this together just like this. And basically, anytime that you fry corn, you have to take it out at the consistency that suits you best, okay? Because everybody likes theirs a little different. So, I'm going to take me a little black pepper, and I'm going to put it in here. I'm not going to put a lot. Just a little bit, just to give it a little flavor, extra flavor. But that's all I'm going to use in it. I'm not going to put any salt or anything like that in it. But you feel free to do that if that's something that you want to do. All you do is you let this fry. That's it. I mean, that's how easy it is. That's all you have to do. This is nothing hard. And, you know, a lot of people think that doing it this way, there's something that's hard about it. And there's really not at all. You're just putting it in there and you're just frying it. But I might need to turn my stove up maybe a little more But boy, my sister did a good job cutting that off the cob, and she sure did. It looks really good, and it's going to be yummy. As you can see, y'all, it's starting to simmer like. All you do is you just sit there and you let that, you let it cook. And you can also, let it cook until some of this starts to cook away. Some of that milky juice in there starts to cook away a little bit. And sometimes I back my burner down, maybe 4.5, 5, something like that. And that's all you do. And it don't take long, to fix it. So just make sure you want to stir it quite a bit. Okay, guys, here we go. Alrighty, now we're on to the chipped beef on Texas toast. I'll show you the bread that we're going to be using. But this is the bread. I like the Heiner's Texas toast. They make the best Texas toast I think I've ever eaten. You could also use garlic bread, the garlic toast if you want to. And I've got some, but we decided just to do the Texas toast. So what we're going to do is just put it in the toaster. My toaster's big enough to put Texas toast in, so we're just going to put it in there and toast it, and then we're going to put our stuff on there. So, all right. So I'm using a bigger skillet for this, okay? This is my bigger iron skillet, and it's been seasoned good. Now, this one I don't use a lot, and it could use a little more seasoning, but I think it'll be fine, okay? So what we're going to do, like I told you, I'm not going to use bacon grease for this type of gravy. I'm just going to use the Crisco pure canola oil, okay? So we're going to put your stove on medium to start. Pour you some Crisco in there. Now, you're going to need quite a bit because we're making a larger pan of gravy here. And this is going to be thinner gravy. All right, that should be it. And, guys, I can't really tell you how much it is. I apologize. But it's probably enough to cover this whole skillet anyway. Why, yeah. So we're going to take our white lily flour I have right over here, okay? And we're going to start adding some of this to our Crisco. 1 heaping tablespoon, 2 heaping tablespoons. Now, I kind of got that on the side of flour. And then I'm going to do 1 more heaping tablespoon, right about. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a whisk. Now, I think what I'll do is just use my plastic whisk because that metal whisk makes so much noise in an iron skillet. So, I like to take a whisk and whisk my flour all around in my canola oil. Now, you can see this is not going to be enough oil. Okay, see how that's kind of clumping up like that? What we'll have to do is we're going to put some more Crisco in here. Because like I said, we do not want that at all. Now, this takes a little bit of grease, guys. So, if you can use a healthier, like the Crisco, you're really better off. Or olive oil or whatever you prefer. And I just take my whisk, kind of go around my skillet like this, and kind of pull off that extra flour that I got. So I'm going to keep whisking this, and then I'll know here in a minute if I need more or not. And the way this looks, I don't think I will. I think three heaping tablespoons of flour, self-rising flour, and the Crisco that I added, I think that's going to be plenty. So see, all you got to do is just keep whisking that in. At the beginning, I like using a whisk. Now, I will go over to my rubber spatula here in just a minute. Just so I can help scrape this in a little bit in the middle and off the sides. The whisk helps to incorporate the oil and the flour in really well. Keep your stove on medium right now. But what we're trying to do is we're going to get this gravy kind of brown. I'm not going to make it super, super brown like I would if I were having biscuits and gravy. But I'm going to make it a little brown. Alright, now I'm going to go over to my rubber spatula. Okay? So see, it's already starting to turn in the middle. And then's when you want to take your rubber spatula and pull all that off. And just keep stirring this, just like this. But if I was you, I'd leave my heat on medium right now. especially if you are a beginner learning how to make gravy, don't turn your heat up no higher than medium, because you will burn your gravy and you will be able to taste it. Alrighty, see how that's getting browner? You don't need to turn your temperature up anymore because it will brown. It takes it a minute, but it will brown. But now what I do is I kind of back my heat down just a little bit to right about 4, because I don't want it to brown a whole lot, like I said. And we're about to get to that, but I want to cook it just a few more minutes here. Another minute maybe, or something like that. Alrighty, so just keep stirring this. That's the thing about gravy. You don't want to stop stirring this because it will stick. It'll start to burn, rather, I should say. But now if you got a good seasoned iron skillet, you'll not have no trouble. Trust me, you really won't. So see, guys, how brown that's gotten? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start adding my milk. Okay? But what I do is I turn my heat off completely. Now, I learned this from my mama. She taught me to take my pan off the burner and just stir it again. Okay? And the reason being is when you take your when you take your skillet off of the burner, you don't have to worry so much when you go to pour your milk in. You don't have to worry so much about your gravy lumping. But when you leave it to me now, some people do it and do great at it. But I don't. I'll be honest with you. I have to take mine off because I'm afraid I'll make it lumpy. Now, let's get some milk. On the milk, another thing, like I told y'all, it's hard for me to tell you. But see how that's just sort of spreading out when you take it off the heat? See how that is? That's what you want right there. All right. I'm going to lay this down. Now's when I'm going to add the milk. But you've got to stir this. And actually, a whisk comes in handy for this. So you just want to pour and stir. Pour and stir. Now, I'm going to see what that does. See if that's going to be enough milk or not. And it takes it time to thicken. So just keep stirring. Turn your burner back on, but put it on about 4. Don't put it on medium. I think that's a little too high because it can get carried away. First, what we're going to do is we're going to get our chipped beef out that we cut up earlier, and I put it into this bowl here. I'm going to lay it to the side, but I'm going to keep whisking this. Whoops. And I'm going to see if I think we're going to need more milk, because we may. Yeah, it's kind of looking that way, but I'm going to give it a minute to heat back up a little bit. And as you can see, I don't have lumps in my gravy, but see, it's going to require more milk. So pour some more milk in there. Now you can pour your milk in and shouldn't have any trouble. But keep stirring it. And it may look like it's going to lump on you at first, but it won't. But you just got to keep stirring it. And a whisk is very, very handy when it comes to making gravy. All right, add you some more milk. It's still too thick, so you want some more milk. You just got to do this, guys. You got to judge this yourself, kind of, because everybody likes their gravy a certain consistency. But with chipped beef, you're going to want it thinner if you're going to add our chipped beef. Now, some people do this different, but I like to add it now. All right, so we're going to get all that out of our bowl. This is going to make your gravy even thicker, okay? So we're still going to have to add some milk. That's still too thick. I'm going to bump my heat up just a little bit. All right, more milk. All right, guys, I think we're about to get it. Boy, that's looking yummy. I have turned my heat off, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I'm going to pour this into this bowl over here. But all right, y'all, here it goes. And then I'll continue to scrape out the rest of it out of the pan. And my husband's getting his toast ready.
You didn't spill any?
I didn't spill any, believe that. And like I said, if you got a good seasoned iron skillet, you won't have any trouble with gravy, because look at that. That did not stick one bit in my pan. Texas toast has been toasted, and I've got a dollop of mashed potatoes on there, but I'm going to put just a little more on there, and I'm just going to kind of spread them out a little even, if I can. Then we're going to take our chipped beef and gravy that we just made up, and we're going to pour this on top of this, and you talk about good. Here we go, y'all. Make sure I get this in the camera right for y'all to see. Oh my goodness. There is the chipped beef on Texas toast with homemade mashed potatoes. And you talk about delicious. And then I'm going to get me a little bit of this corn out. So I'm going to get me a little bit of that out. I'm going to put it on the side over here. So anyway, y'all, listen. If y'all don't mind to go to Cheryl K's Cooking Diaries on Facebook and like and share and follow my page, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you don't mind to go over to YouTube and like and subscribe over there and share, I would greatly appreciate it. Listen, guys, I thank you all so much for watching my video today. I've had fun making this with y'all, and I hope you all will give it a try. And remember, the recipes will be in the link in the description below the video. And you may have to click see more or something like that. So anyway, y'all have yourself a good night. And always remember to keep God in your heart and God in your life. Bye, guys. As always, thanks for watching Cheryl K's Cooking Diaries. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.